Hello everyone. Many of you will know Grimm Guy. He is a guy that likes to play Grimm a lot. No, he's a very good player, high level player that always picks Grimm as a challenge in this account called Grimm Guy. Who, there's been a lot of Grimm Guy alts before, but no one has ever reached to the level of consistency, high level playing, beating top players, staying at the top of the ladder with only Grimm as Grimm Guy has. So definitely earned a name for himself. But for some reason, Grimm Guy has kind of, disappeared off the scene for a while now. And there has been for a while, this other alt that has come up a lot in many games. Had a very nice win streak and got to a maximum rating of 1375, and that is Grimm Girl. So this user also same thing, just playing Grimm. Also, I think only yellow comment, same thing, but Grimm Girl plays a little bit differently than Grimm Guy. I think maybe takes a little bit more risks. And Grimm Guy is a little bit more positional, likes to stall, I guess, fine stalling, and Grimm Girl I think goes for a little bit more risks and goes for more like attacks. But yeah, just like we have another Grimm Alt that has been shaking up, or it has been talked about a lot in the community. And so I thought, what better to cover a game of Grimm Girl with our beloved Tesla with Adder. Another, well, not really an alt, but just a person that likes to play Adder all the time. And they're going to be playing on this map called Celeste, a map that I love. It's honestly such a great map. I've already covered this map. There was a Tesla against Starflash match. It was really fun. You should go watch it if you haven't already. But this is a very high income map, a standard map, and you have 3 bases, 1 airport. This is going to be like your 2 base side, and this is your 1 base, 1 airport side. Very tight quarters, like your bases are super close to the fronts, like 1 turn, from each other, like 1.5 turns, super close. The income can go, I think it's all the way to like 24 per player, something like that. It's very high. It's definitely in the highest end of standard maps. And your contested stuff is going to be this whole section right like this, from one airport to the other. It's big diagonal. And so I think we can just get a little bit into the match, and we can talk a little bit more about the map as we go. Let's change you to the right. There we go. So yeah, so we got Grimm Girl, a Grimm Alt, and then we got Tesla. Not necessarily an alt, just a person. Let's call this an Adder enjoyer. No, Tesla very well known for skipping captures early on, like he is doing right here, skipping these 2 early captures to go straight to rush this. Probably to chain here, then you can contest the airport. You definitely want to get the airport pretty fast here, because if you're able to contest and like deny your enemy's airport for a while or forever, that is a death sentence right there. I've seen players put an RD right here, and then you're never getting the airport. You can get stealths, just the spam of units is pretty real here. So it is a wild map. And regarding the COs here, I know a lot of you get very hyped up with Grimm. There's a lot of people that get very hyped with Grimm. Oh, Grimm's so good, he should be better, we should rebalance. And it's like, whatever. Grimm is really bad. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I enjoy sometimes playing with Grimm. That fact that it kind of changes the game, the dynamic, the pretty much you want to go for first strikes all the time. The like excessive use of counter units that you have to use or else you die. But in this matchup, it's just so much favored for Adder. That plus movement. So if Grimm is all about first strikes, as I was just saying, how do you get first strikes if the other one is getting +1 movement, right? You want to get first strikes as Grimm. That's the whole thing. You're shaking up the game, but then the other one has +1 movement, and so all of a sudden you have to step back, or else you're gonna get first struck, because all the infantry are gonna move +1, all the tanks are gonna move +1, and Grimm has 30% more attack and 20% less defense. It is a 10% difference, but because of the difference is so little. Like, the extra attack that Grimm gets is very little. It's like 3% or 5%. It's very, very tiny. It's so much better to be able to get the plus movement, get the first attack, and that's it. Like, the game gets decided there with the first attack. Tanks no longer do 5-7. It's like 3-9. It's pretty ridiculous. And so after all that blabbing, we're gonna see Grimm Girl here pretty much skipping to rush this property right here on the mountains. It is a very contested one, and usually you'll see this a lot, the one base trying to rush it, because if not, the two base will secure it for sure. And then if you're able to do that, then you can lock it with an artillery back here to prevent it from getting flipped. You pretty want to get as many advantages as you're able over here. Very dynamic map, and it can get decided really fast. You can see the fronts are so close. This artillery by Tesla from the one base is going to be protecting this capture from the mountain, deterring this infantry from attacking over here. And Grimm Girl is going to open with a tank over here on the left. And let's see, so Grimm Girl is going to get this mountain city. She's going to also skip this city to get this one, but both places are going to get the airports, it seems like. So no airport denying shenanigans. This infantry is going to be forced to capture over here to protect the artillery from the tank. But Tesla is going to be able to get the city, going to get the airport. And something that I also talked on the other video, like, you have so many captures by here, right? This 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Like, there's like 9 or 10 properties that are like backwards or in the middle. So you have to spend like 3 or 4 infantry backwards capturing stuff. And I think in a sense, it kind of gives the one base a chance early on, as the two base is a little bit busy sending 2 or 3 infantries to capture. So it is like a sort of one-on-one at first, one base versus one base, maybe even and a half with the airport. But once these guys are done, they start moving forward, you're gonna see the big flood of infantry, and like, that's a very important moment of the match. Definitely want to secure those like very forward properties from the one base. Try to hold them later when the flood comes in. This tank is actually gonna kind of swing towards the right, kind of towards the middle. You can, I guess, yeah, copter. I was thinking maybe you could make an anti-air here, but Grimm Girl decided to make another tank instead. But you're definitely gonna want an anti-air here, so gonna be looking to just pull back over here and stay away from copter attacks. And Tesla just gonna go for these captures, gonna put the artillery right here to protect this infantry, and gonna have the copter protecting the artillery as well. We're gonna have these infantry finishing these back captures. It's gonna take a few more turns until like day, I don't know, 10 or 12. We're not gonna see them over here. Tank is gonna come sit over here. So this tank can still come around and hit this artillery. Something I forgot to mention, but it is funny that both the players are playing with like the CO's colors, right? We got Tesla with the black hole adder, and then Grimm Girl, yellow comet, Grimm. So I didn't need to change the colors. I think that's very funny. And we do see Tesla's first mech. If you see my other videos talking about Tesla, he does like to have the double mech going from the two base, kind of going forward together, holding hands. We'll see if he makes another mech. But Grimm Girl is probably not gonna hit that. Okay, okay. Gonna go and interrupt that infantry, and getting a 5-7, something that only Grimm can get, and also Sammy. Although I think with Sami it's like 5-8 actually. And no, we're not gonna attack over here. Actually, gonna send the tank towards the right. So now the fight is gonna kind of gonna shift towards the right, but something not sure why. Grimgirl decided not to make an anti-air, so this is gonna be a free interrupt here from Tesla. I guess she really wanted to make a copter and a tank over here. Something I'm not super sure, because there's no vehicles from Tesla over here. So maybe wanting to double down with vehicles on the one base side, because Tesla has no vehicles, to really like push him back, try to flip this property and then have both of them, while only allowing Tesla to get this one hit with a copter. Maybe that's the idea by Grimgirl. Again, I feel like Grimgirl, it's a different version of Grimm than Grimm Guy. Takes bigger risks, I think. And we're gonna make an anti-air here and an infantry and a copter. Yeah, we're gonna get the free hit here with a copter interrupt. And we're gonna change the infantry to have a healthy one. Grimgirl does have the RD lock, but it is gonna get overwhelmed pretty fast. There's a lot of infantry. There's a tank also pointing the one that came from the left. And we don't see another mech, sadly, so they're not gonna be holding hands. But this is a Grimm already on a road. I usually don't like using infantry to shoot at artillery, but in this case, there isn't a lot of coverage over here. So if I were Grimgirl, I'd probably not shoot here or just pull back. You know, keep the RD healthy, bring it back here to protect this mountain city, or this one, or both. But Grimgirl is gonna push forward, it seems like. Okay, actually goes for these shots. Still shoots at the comm tower, even in range of this tank. Gonna make an anti-air now. I'm gonna keep those in range, not all of them. And this tank is gonna stay on the city. Why is it staying on the city? 2, 4, 6. Oh, okay. I guess you would have loved to go over here, but if you put it anywhere that's not the city, you're just gonna get first struck by this tank. So, okay. Kind of was forced to stay here. And yeah, for sure, Tesla's just gonna go hit that artillery, and copter's gonna get some, just gonna get that shot that was for free. Gonna send the other copter towards the middle, towards this side, and aid the 2-base attack. Are we gonna see another mech? I would love to see another mech. We're gonna get a big infantry ball over here. Gonna start these captures, and more copters. Just Tesla's gonna be spamming those copters, those adder copters. Really strong. Definitely Adder has the better copters here. I know Grimm has really great copters because, yeah, they're paper thin, but copters are still paper thin because they still get 1 KO by anti-airs. But Adders have +1 movement. Again, that +1 movement is so strong in this matchup. It really is the deal breaker. And Grimgirl is just gonna start this capture over here. Gonna bring the anti-air. Definitely gonna need another one, unless you bring the other copter. Okay, so we're gonna get a shot there. That nice 7 damage, and I'm gonna finish it off. It is out of range of this mech, except if it gets a side slip. But yeah, the lack of vehicles by Adder this early, that Grimgirl seems to have. How you say, was kind of like investing a lot on this particular, like on these few turns, investing a lot of vehicles over here, even soaking up a little bit of damage, like delaying this city capture just to get as much damage on this side as possible, because there's no counterattack. Now that tank got taken out, and it wasn't able to take out this artillery. Now this tank is gonna get taken out. It is out of range of this anti-air, but it is in range of a copter, so I would guess this is gonna get a little bit of a trade. Nice second middle of anti-air, definitely gonna be needed. And the Symmetry is still getting those captures, and we are gonna get that side slip by sacrificing this poor guy. Boom. It's just so that this mech can get a shot. And is it a one shot? See what I'm telling you? It's the +1. It's the +1 movement. I know. There's a lot of you that love Grimm, get all hyped up with the Grimm picks, and but Grimm's worst enemy is +1 movement. He can easily deal with Andy, for example. He can deal with, I don't know, Rachel, global damage, whatever you want. But when it comes to +1 movement, Grimgirl's gonna use a power now. Doesn't get enough strength to kill this mech in a one shot with that tank. Take that other guy out. Does take out that copter with a copter, and we're just gonna bundle up over here, kind of trying to use the mountains to split away Tesla's armies, not like trying to not allow Tesla to join the armies and forcing him to like pivot around those mountains. So pretty smart. Gonna try to abuse of the terrain over here. I think they're both trying to do the same thing. Tesla trying to cut off over here, and Grimm Girl trying to cut off over here. Got the double anti-air, which is really good against 2 copters, 1 anti-air. So in this war of copters, I would give the upper hand to Grimm Girl. If Tesla decides to sacrifice this anti-air, it will most likely die. I think this tank is pretty well covered, and probably a tank will almost one-shot an anti-air. And if not, it can be taken out by an infantry, maybe like this 4 HP guy. So yeah, we'll see. Oof, although that tank does go down. But Tesla does get a nice little position over here. It's gonna get both copters here with the artillery behind. So although Grimm Girl can get a kill on the copter, can maybe kill this anti-air with a tank shot. I wonder if it's a kill. That would be great. Let's see if it kills. Ooh, leaves it at 1. Okay, still pretty good. I think. Ooh, okay. I thought maybe she would have try to go for the kill here to finish off the anti-air, because you don't want that to heal up. No, okay. So this anti-air is gonna die as well. So you're trading an anti-air for a copter. And this anti-air, these vehicle trades are so tricky, because you're trading like 1-on-1, but then this guy's gonna die, and then maybe this tank can reach this tank, and then this one dies. And usually losing a copter is more fine than losing a tank or an anti-air, even though a copter is more expensive, just because you can have more unit count. So now Tesla's gonna get a power, gonna go for this capture over here, block off. So I think if Tesla puts an image over here, it would guarantee this flip, which would be really nice, because currently Grimm Girl is ahead on captures. The only 3 that are still neutral are these 3, and Tesla's missing 2, Grimm Girl 1, so that's why she is ahead by 1. Let's see, Copter's gonna loop around, and we're gonna try to take out this tank. Gonna heal up that anti-air. You always want to finish off those anti-airs. And I'm gonna try. Wow, the 2 HP hero infantry takes out they didn't even use the artillery to take out the anti-air. That's interesting. But I guess sometimes you do that because you go with the tanks, and then you can bring the artillery so you can solidify your position instead of using the artillery and then leaving your tanks without backup. So a very interesting tactics here by Tesla. Not going to be able to interrupt. Oh, actually doesn't even have to cover over here. Yeah, because nothing can really reach this tile. Just have to cover this tile. So this is a guaranteed flip from Tesla. That is going to put Tesla ahead in income. And Grimm Girl is going to get the capture. Actually, they're going to be tied. No. Tesla's going to be ahead, because he's going to have this one, and then I'm going to flip this one as well. So the big fight is happening in the middle. Big armies in the middle. Tiny little fights on the sides. I love to see that. That is like peak Advanced Wars. You got the big fights on one area, and then the tiny little skirmishes. You got this little stare off over here. You got the anti-air kind of locking down the airport. You got these 2 infantries there ready to pounce on the airport if Grimm Girl doesn't have these infantries. She's having those there, just protecting, having the tanks looping around. Like, you always have to be careful of the sides It is where the rewards and the flipping of captures actually happen. And Tesla is gonna get a reward right here. No, Grimm Girl not having the vehicles to deal with this, so only now gonna make a tank, gonna make another copter, and she's also gonna block over here, so that this anti can't loop around. And also this is not breakable by these infantry unless you can get a sidewinder, but yeah, that's not gonna happen. So there goes the city flip by Tesla, and looks like he might shift towards the left with everything. Just gonna pounce on everything, gonna kind of do a little wall of vehicles so that he can flip yet another city, and this time right in front of Grimm Girl's 2-base side. And yeah, gets that city. So now ahead on income, looks like, yeah, just shifting every tank and his artillery, and gonna pull back from the middle. Looks like he's like happy with just getting this property, not even gonna interrupt this capture. But it looks like Grimm Girl can't really break through here. Just gonna get a shot on there and make a medium tank. Gonna get some, gonna get a kill there. Just gonna bring some tanks, try to get a position of the middle of the map to try to keep the army kind of split, maybe catch this army off guard, or this army, well, most likely this army, because it is a little bit overextended. Like this is the maximum that you can push for as Tesla. Like really, you should never get this city, honestly. This is more of like he got away with it. But yeah, you should not be getting away. You should never be flipping this property. But yeah, he was able to get it. But you definitely want to pull back after this. There's no need to fight over here, especially in range of this medium tank. And Tesla just gonna pounce over here in the middle. Gonna make another copter. That anti is gonna keep healing up. Once it's at 7, it can one-shot those Grimm copters for sure. Gonna make more anti-airs. That's the thing with Grimm copters. The thing that people say that they're really strong is because he has less defense, but your tanks still can't deal any damage to those copters, so you still need anti-airs. But with Grimm on the field, anti-airs are even more strong. Like I think like a 6 HP anti-air can kill a copter or something like that. It's ridiculous. And doesn't get the kill. This might be a roll. Not super sure, but yeah, gonna get a hit there, probably for free, because there's no way that Tesla would attack with another copter. There's these anti-airs. It isn't in anti-air range. Like you build it and you kill the other copter. But Grimm Girl is just gonna pull back, kind of soaked up a few of these shots from Tesla. From Tesla, and just gonna pull back. It does make a lot of sense because Tesla does have that power active now, so at all times you can feel that +1 danger. It's real. And Tesla is ahead on income. It looks like they're both pretty even. No, I would definitely give the upper hand to Tesla in unit count and unit value. Position wise, I think I would also go to Tesla. Definitely has a little bit more of a tempo. But we'll see if Grimm Girl can shake things up a little bit. Tesla is now going to pressure this city instead. You can see that the pressure is non-stop, right? He poked a little bit, had to pull back, but was able to flip this stuff. He's now pulling back, gonna try to flip this. You just gotta keep the game going all the time. I have seen games where Tesla gets such a lead at a point that then he just kind of stalls out and starts making rockets and battleships. But he still is always putting pressure. Like he doesn't. I feel like he doesn't like to stall too hard, like stall just to stall, and instead it's just stall to build up army, and then just like builds up all that army and puts it in front of you, and then boom, gets a power or a super and just destroys you in a turn. And well, I know. Well, we'll see. We'll see if Grimm Girl can do something. This medium tank can definitely pose a threat on Tesla. There is an artillery and there are copters, so it is going to be somewhat easier to deal with this Grimm medium tank. So Grimm Girl is being careful with by putting it on a city, even on a com tower. I guess it's fine. It's 3-star defense, but on a own city, it's like, yeah, you don't want to be sending copters onto that. But if she were to charge in and attack from a road, for example, I think Tesla with 2 copters can leave that medium tank at, I don't know, 4. Yeah, it's just those glass cannons of Grimm really, you can really notice them, and it's very painful when you have to position stuff. You can see she's being very careful, keeping that distance. You can see now a big distance between the players, even having like vehicles in front, because these infantry are going to be able to kill Grimm's infantry very easily with a power. Over here there isn't that many infantry, so she can put infantry in the front and protect the vehicles. And over here's the other way around, like you use the medium tank, the injured infantry and vehicles to protect the anti-airs, the other infantry and the other tanks. So Tesla is now going to also try to flip this city and this one. Going to change the infantry probably to put another one, or no, looks like no. Looks like he's just going to focus on these 2 in the middle. Still has that income advantage, and he's also kind of respecting the powers from Grimgold. This medium tank it can't really shoot at these. I just would not send the medium tank to shoot at any infantry really, if it's just gonna get shot at by these copters. But this is a position that Adder is gonna be feeling really comfortable. Powers loaded, good amount of vehicles, and although there is a medium tank, the dynamic of the match is being dictated by Adder right now. Like these 2 cities are being captured. There's no infantry in range of this one to interrupt it, so that's gonna force Grimm Girl to send a vehicle, either a medium tank or copter. You can go and interrupt this one with an infantry. There we go. We're gonna send a medium tank and an infantry over here. But this exposes it exposes the medium tank to these 2 copters with a side slip. So we'll see. It looks like Grimm Girl is gonna shift everything towards the middle. So with that committing, being like, okay, look, if you want to send your copters, then I'm gonna fight here. I'm gonna fight right here, like in this area, which is really close to my bases. So if you want to, you can pounce. And I got all these vehicles back here. What will Tesla do with the attack? He's gonna bring this mech. We got the other mech. We got the double mech, but they were made on different bases. They weren't made on the same one. And this infantry is going to be staring at this airport. It's crawling slowly, just out of range of this guy. And I'm going to start this capture on this mountain with artillery behind. Gonna put the copter on the city. Just a classic move to delay this infantry from trying to reflip it, because there is no anti-air or copter in range to take this out. That is something that you just always do. It's a good little tactic to delay these flips. And it looks like Adder is just not gonna attack. Just gonna, you wanna bundle up your forces? Sure, I wanna do the same thing. I'm just gonna pull back. I'm still gonna focus on getting these 2 cities and deny you from getting this one. Grimm Girl is gonna go and interrupt over here. Gonna make a copter. Looks like switching. Okay, bringing 2 anti-airs, 4 tanks. Okay, kind of splitting the army now. The medium tank is kind of split by the mountains as well. And yeah, kind of splitting the army a little bit over here and a little bit over here. I think Grimm Girl really wants to flip this. I mean, it is 4 tiles away from from this base. You really want to get this back. And Tesla sees opportunity and sees that there's no infantry in range to interrupt this. I mean, I guess you could just have an infantry over here, or here, just have something in range to interrupt this capture. And this is gonna make a neo tank now. So at a certain point, I think the unit limit is 50 here, most likely. So once you start hitting those 40, you're in the 40s, you want to start taking up if you haven't already, Gotta make good use, efficient use of the pop space left that you have. So getting those tech ups is pretty important. And Grimgirl's gonna just charge forward with his medium tank again, and he's gonna use Knuckle Duster, the power. So it looks like Grimgirl is gonna go for an attack. Oof. What does she see? Possibly taking out this artillery, like maybe pouncing on this army over here. And the position of the army of Tessa is kind of weird, right? It's like a little stretched out everywhere. But he's so close to his super, he can still reach anywhere pretty much. With that +2, we got copters pretty much covering the whole map. So let's see what Grimgirl sees here. There are no healthy infantry over here to flip this property. We're gonna break through there. Use a lot of vehicles to take out infantry. Takes out the artillery and a mech. Brings the copters just behind over here to cover from the counter attack. But yeah, I'm just gonna pull back over here. Not really gonna attack. Gonna make a neo tank in response to this one. But now we have one army over here and the other one completely split up, giving up this property, of which Grimgirl had both of them. So that's gonna put Tesla ahead on that income, even more. And here comes the Sidewinder. No power, the super. Ida doesn't get plus firepower with a super, he just gets plus movement, so there has to be something that he, ooh, that's so unlucky. Okay, sacrifices that infantry, okay, that was with the +2. And Mary guarantees that kill. Okay, gets the kill with that. Tesla is just really good with the KO thresholds. He's an avid user of the calculator for sure. And interrupts this capture, which was a guaranteed flip, to break through here. Boom. Gonna bring that copter. Also +2. Look at that. Even the mech. Gonna be able to get on that mountain. This tank as well. Another +2. Gonna break through there. That tank is gonna break the artillery. We're gonna take out that tank. And we're gonna attack the medium tank with 2 copters. Look at that. Leaves it at 4. It's even on a force with a power. And it's already getting taken out by these. Got taken out by 2 copters, 2 tanks. Gonna kill another infantry. Now there's like no infantry over here for Grimgirl. There's this healthy one and this 3 HP one. Oof, brutal. And not really giving a lot of opportunities of attack to Grimgirl really here, because you have a mountain here, 3 tiles to attack from, and another mountain. So you can only get attack, 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 and that's it. You can't attack this anti-air. Ugh. A really good tactic found here by Tessa. Really nice position. Looks like Grimgirl is gonna sacrifice a tank to get the charge needed for another power. I mean, it's definitely smaller army against a bigger army here, so some magic has to happen here. Let's see. Gonna break through there. Okay. Finds the way to break through and get the 2 tiles to attack from to be able to break this layer. Copter gonna get a kill on another copter, another to hit KO, another kill on a copter, and attack there, take out the mech, and that is gonna be it. And she's gonna make another neo tank. This one is only gonna be covering this tank. But if this army starts to crumble, this airport can be threatened very strongly, and these properties also most likely. There isn't that many infantry left for Tessa, but there are still 3 healthy ones, so something that Grimgirl should be taking into account. I do think Tessa is gonna get this capture for sure. We're gonna break through there, gonna KO over there. At least 3 copters are gonna go down with these 3 anti-airs. So yeah, boom, boom, and boom. Gonna kill that tank and take out the other tank. Gonna injure that anti-air and the copter, and now there's nothing to deal with copters. There's only just one adder copter, but there's no more Grimm copters, and there's still 3 anti-airs from Adder. So even if Grimm Girl decides to make copters, yeah, Tesla is fine with that. New tank is just gonna move over here, kind of covering this anti-air from this Neo tank, and we're just gonna, move, slowly but surely, just staring at that airport with a side slip. That guy is gonna reach that airport, so you gotta be careful. We're gonna make a medium tank over here. This map is crazy. The fact that you see so many tick-ups in a standard map that is this small and so dynamic is insane. Both Neo tanks are gonna come in, take out some vehicles, sacrifice the copter, bring the other one over here, just make another Neo tank. Grimm Girl is like, that medium tank wasn't very strong. It got bullied by a few vehicles. I need something stronger. I need Neo tanks. And Tesla just charging in. I mean, in a lot of situations, you would just like pull back, just flip these, kind of stay back, point with the R2, but Tesla's gonna keep pushing forward. And in part it is because he does have superior unit count. Is he sacrificing these tanks to get a side winder? Ooh. By 1 tile. This Neo tank doesn't reach those Neo tanks by 1 tile. Okay. I was gonna be like, okay, that's the GG right there. But let's see what this Neo tank is gonna be doing. It's gonna take out that tank. Gonna sacrifice so many tanks onto these Neo tanks. And okay. Sacrifice 3 tanks and used 3 more to take out the Neo tank. Gonna take that out. Gonna take that out, and this is what's really strong. Yeah, going for that airport capture and blocking over here, and blocking over there. So now, although yes, you have a Neo tank to clear the way or to take out anything here, you don't have another unit to interrupt the capture. It's just the overwhelming unit count over here is not letting Grimm Girl do anything. If you're limited in units, you're gonna be limited in tactics. That's how it is. So at the same time, gonna start a few captures. Are you gonna flip that? What? Oh, I think because Tesla's trying to pressure the HQ. So gonna interrupt the airport capture, the city capture to be threatening the HQ next turn, because now this army right here, this whole split, this chunk of army is splitting these guys over here. They really cannot deal with any of these. I mean, nothing here can deal with a Neo tank. And these Neo tanks are trapped in here. This one can't free this one. This one has to shoot at something here. Like this copter could come here, shoot at this tank, but then this Neo tank would have to, shoot at this anti-air. There's just too many units. And if this Neo tank moves away from the HQ, then Tesla's gonna be able to start an HQ capture. This Neo tank is also in range, and this medium tank is gonna be also protecting the units to then first strike this Neo tank. You got the already locking on that Neo tank, so that guy is definitely gonna want to move off or die. And because Tesla is getting that airport capture, he makes the stealth, the classic end game situation here of if I take out your airport, I can make stealth. They'll be instantly doing some action and you won't be able to deal with it. I can be making stealths every single turn. You cannot make stealths or fighters of your own to deal with mine, and you're just going to die. That is just how it is. And I don't think there's anything that Grimm Girl can do, but she decides to use Knuckle Duster. Gonna go for some kills and taps out. GG. Great game by Grimm Girl and Tesla. Love to see these challenge accounts. I guess only one is a challenge account by Grimm Girl. I do like Grimm Girl's playstyle. Very much more riskier, more of a risk taking and going for more attacks than Grimm Guy. They're just different. I do like both. Grimm Guy I think does really well in positioning and just kind of stalling it out and planning better for long-term fights, I think Grimm Girl just tries to look for immediate rewards in little fights. And Tesla is just a really great player in a matchup that really does not favor Grimm at all. So I think Grimm Girl just was at a big disadvantage here with a CO matchup against a guy that is just really good with Adder. He just only plays Adder, so he really knows how to use Adder really, really well. So very interesting game. I think it definitely showcased a little bit of the map as well, how it usually plays out. Super dynamic. There can be little moments of like stalling, like, you know, like retreating, building up, gonna move here or there, like redirect my forces. Maybe I'm gonna go to this area. Lots of tech ups as well. Let's see, where did things go wrong for Grimm Girl? I mean, since the start, it was a little bit more favored for Tesla, but I think after this little play over here where Tesla gets to flip this city, and then Grimm Girl goes for a little attack, then retreats. I think Grimm Girl could have just shifted over here and try to reclaim these things. Try to force, a 2 base forwards pushing into this area with this army going towards the left. Maybe give up the city or just try to interrupt it or something. Because I think what Grimm Girl was trying to do was trying to catch off guard the army from Tesla, because it was like over here on the left. So she was like, okay, I'm just gonna go towards here, try to flip this. But then you're falling into the 2 base area of Tesla, and the 2 base here is really strong. Like these bases are both really, really close, so you can start making double vehicle over here, and it's gonna be really hard to deal with, especially if you already have an army. So I think if this army could have shifted towards the left, it was gonna be really tricky because you do have the powers online, but you do have the medium tank here and you have all these infantry. I think possibly that could have been to try to flip this city. It just stayed under Adder's control for so long, and then she started losing on income too much, and kind of conceded the tempo because of this shift and not really knowing where to push at this stage. Just giving the tempo to Adder to be flipping properties and just kind of dictating where the fights were gonna be taking place. So, and Adder goes for the kill for the HQ. A really showcase of the map here, because even with that stealth end game, the HQ as well. So really cool. So hope you guys like this match. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.